Nation! Welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back to welcome back to episode 95, which might be the number of goals that
Uh,
RSL will concede this season.
oh,
You're fired. Get out of here.
oh my gosh, that's a great way to start off this episode, guys.
Quick disclaimer, not all of the bros feel that way.
We're gonna talk a lot.
We're
Um,
talking a lot.
there's gonna be opinions thrown out. There's gonna be feelings said. Probably feelings hurt. I don't know about that, but we're gonna try to get to everything that we've read, everything that you guys are feeling, all that we're feeling. This is gonna be tough. We're not even gonna get into this. Actually, we might just get into the San Jose game a little bit, just to
Hmm.
just because it leads up to what the heck happened last night or Wednesday, whatever. So, um, I don't even know where to start, but actually, let's start here. We're gonna start slow. Um, how did you guys? We're gonna start slow because it's gonna pick up fast. How did you guys see the fan base last night? Apparently, we couldn't get half of the stadium filled up, but how was the atmosphere?
So Christian and I went to the tailgates and we show up to the parking lot and it was a ghost town. We're like, where are the cars? Where is everybody? We understood it was a Wednesday. Kickoff was 6:30, but it was MIA. The announced attendance here at America First was 9,000 something something. So very lower than we anticipated. So it was very sad to see.
Yeah, I mean, do you have anything to add, Christian?
Hmm. No. Well, I will say that the crowd that was there during the game were very vocal,
Mm,
very vocal, very loud, and honestly, people stayed until the end.
well, that's good. I mean, they're probably hoping for a last minute goal. That would have been great. I mean, I'll tell you, sitting on my couch, I was hoping for a last minute goal.
We were all hoping for it.
But um, let's we won't probably get into any of the San Jose game, but the lineup that was put out was because of the San Jose game, I
But
think.
can I just say really quick, since we're not going to get into detail of the San Jose game, I think RSL won for the fact that Chicho didn't score.
He
Keep
did, but he
that
didn't.
count. Keep that count. I'll leave
Chicho
that up
didn't
to you,
score.
Christian.
Lopez didn't score. Martinez didn't score. Espinoza didn't score. So it's a win in my book.
Yeah, but Ricketts scored, Rodriguez scored, Boda scored, Costa scored. So your point is moot. Sorry,
It,
except for the
it,
Chicho part.
I mean, it's kind of mute because that means San Jose is building,
It's true.
which
It's
which
true.
not good on our part.
No, no, no. I said it before. I was like, oh, they have a bad defense. They're gonna let in goals, but no, they have a deep attack, and their goal scorers who we thought were gonna score didn't score, and just shows how lethal they are.
Yeah.
We're seeing a
I,
shift in the league a little bit, I think.
maybe just a little. But let's talk about the differences, at least between the two games, our lineup, the difference between the two games. Um, obviously, we only have one forward for all all games. Apparently, Jago is our one and only forward. But literally between the San Jose game and the game Wednesday, we had, let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight changes.
Well, the biggest change from the San Jose game to the Herediano game was that back line. All four players completely different.
Do you think? Well, let's get into it. All right, this lineup. Did you guys have any? Let's start with the back line. Did you guys have any issues with who started the back line? Would you
No.
have wanted? I mean, because Catranis played the first leg. Would you have wanted Catranis in that second leg? Would he have made a better difference than Sam?
I did like
Mm,
Sam. Sam did impress me. I was talking to Christian. We were watching this. That I liked how Junko was going up several times. It looked like we were playing a back three. He was doing what Catranis did several times last season.
they were interchangeable at this point, honestly.
hmm
I
Yep.
think they really are. I think maybe Catranis brings more aggression. I think that might be it. But Jungle plays really intelligent. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
I was really impressed. So, um, now did it surprise you that Glad didn't get the start? I know we talked about it last time, but Christian, you wanted basically the same lineup as the first leg.
Essentially, I thought that, I did think that Glad and Henry paired up pretty well. But I'm not surprised. Um, it was a little bit of a risk putting Henry and Barra in the center together, but honestly, I thought they did really well. I don't know where FotMob is getting that rating for Henry of 6.5.
I was thinking the same exact
That
thing.
like
Watching the game, I was like,
what? That
yeah.
no, Henry was solid. He was everywhere. He had headers on goal, and just he honestly, he was probably the most solid out of the back line.
Yeah,
I hope.
Kobe, for being 20 years old, he's a bright player for his age at the defense. So I've said it before, it's gonna be a battle for that starting position at center back. So, but it's very interchangeable. So I wasn't thrown off at all to see Henry and Vera get the start together. But very thrown off that we didn't see Glad thrown in. Maybe have one of those been subbed off in the second half.
Really, you would have wanted a defensive sub?
I
If anything, maybe throw in like a back five.
was gonna say I wanted a defensive midfield sub. That didn't happen.
Uh, well, let's get into that.
Not early enough.
But Palacio gets the start. His the second game in a row. He started the San Jose game and started this game. I mean,
He did all right for the first two-thirds of the game. He should have been taken out 65th minute. He hit a wall. I think his fitness is only got him up to 65 minutes, and then he was getting tired. He was making stupid mistakes, unacceptable mistakes. He threw a couple of tantrums on field.
I think I saw
Come
him
on.
throw. I saw him throw more tantrums after Pablo Ruiz came on. I think Pablo Ruiz is an instigator, and I to be honest, this is personal. I'm not too impressed with how Pablo Ruiz comes onto the field. I expected more skill set. I expected more skill play. Instead, he came on to just bite at everyone's heels. He just came to just cause a ruckus.
And also, he got thrown into the 10. We saw him that's happened already this season, and Pablo does not play the 10. The substitution that should have happened was Palacio comes off, and then Ruiz should have taken his spot because Palacio was very lackluster. He wasn't playing the same as he was in the first half. Ruiz and Anelli would have been a great duo pair that would have helped our back line, so we wouldn't have given up that costly goal.
And I guess that's where right now I don't know if we're thin, but Pablo Ruiz playing a 10. I mean, who else could we have brought in to play a 10? We we saw, let's see, everyone but Ajago came off on in that midfield. Ajago
Yeah.
obviously being the forward. I do you guys I guess
Well,
tell me.
a move that I was thinking, maybe move Giogo over into that 10 and then have Luna be playing on that left mid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all right, let's talk about Jogo. Let's talk about Jogo. Um, guys, we spent DP money on him. It wouldn't be a lot. I mean, what did we spend? 3 million on him, I think. I I
Correct.
am not impressed with Giogo. He is not the caliber that I thought he was going to be. For me, yesterday, he had moments of brilliance, but he seemed slow on pressured runs when he should be putting pressure on. He seemed lazy when he was supposed to recover the ball. It just seemed an overall lackluster performance. I'm not gonna question the guy's passion for the game, but it just doesn't seem there when he plays for RSL. I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't think you're wrong.
No, we saw how well Giogo and Chicho played together last season. That towards the very end, and they were I wouldn't say great, but they were like a decent pairing together because Giogo could be able to find assists. He could be able to score. But now he just seems kind of timid, not being able to be his same self.
We gotta stop blaming everything on Chicho. I'm sorry.
We got to get over
I,
it.
I'm. You gotta get over it. Nobody gives two shits about Chicho anymore. We shouldn't.
I mean,
I'm. It.
Chicho
He's
was
gone,
gone. He was gone in July.
and he's. We haven't won in the past 5 games.
It's true.
Yeah, it's been super frustrating the fact that people. I mean, yes, now let's get heated. People have been blaming front office, saying they've known about this Chicho thing since July. They've known probably that he should have been gone. By the end of the season, and yet I think the upset that people are being getting triggered by is that if we've known, or if the front office has known this information for so long, how come they haven't lined up any possible nines, good nines, DP nines? Are you going to tell me that they thought Elias Manuel was going to be the solution? Jago, Piol, lining up 3 or 4 deep, was that going to be the answer? I mean, I can see where the fans are coming from if we go from that point of view. Um, it's super frustrating that we've gone for so long, months, more than 6 months, knowing that this was going to happen, and yet nothing happened. So I don't know where the transparency is going to come from, but
Like yeah, like yes, I understand the process of getting a player tr- from Europe, wherever South America is a difficult process. It's not like buying eggs at the grocery store where you can literally go and then you have it.
About the same price.
It's about the same price. But what I want to know is like what's taking Kurt and Jason so long because they see what the problem is. We're not able to find the back end net. We getting 30 shots against Herediano, only one goal. Like
well, and I guess is RSL a sellable product? Do people want to come here? I think that's the issue that they're running into, is that they're finding people, and I don't think there are very many high quality strikers that actually want to come here. There's something about RSL that just doesn't attract people. It could be style of play, could be coach, it could be the players that we have on the roster currently, it could be the philosophy. I mean, there's so many things that I don't know what to pinpoint it on. And so when we have games like the past 3 games where we have only one forward that we've signed. We have a couple of other strikers on the bench, like Gozo. I'm not going to blame Gozo for absolutely anything. The kid's 17
Hmm.
years old. But last night, I would have loved to see Gozo go in for a Jago instead of going in for Palacio. I
Yep.
think to Christian's point, Palacio should have come off earlier. And Pablo Ruiz should have played there. If you're going to take off a Nelly, take him off later in the game, not in the 70th minute. If the idea was to save players for this weekend, then why play CONCACAF Champions Cup?
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. I would have loved so much to win against Herediano and screw Seattle. Like I would take the L. I would take the L in a heartbeat because who cares about MLS at this point? Because very rare do you get this opportunity to play in CONCACAF. Um, the one sub that I was really baffled as to why they took him off was Dominic. Dominic had a great performance in the first half. That beautiful assist to Ajago, and you could see his expression on his face, the passion that he had for having that assist, and he brought that in that first half. But right as he was taking off in the 70th minute, it just got deflated.
I mean, Lachlan was pissed about being subbed off.
Exactly. Yeah.
He didn't stay for the rest of the game. He went straight to the locker room.
Threw his cleats, threw his shin guards right at the bench, and just stormed right off.
And that's frustrating. Last night, I was having Twitter discussions as any late night fan would, and I it's not that I tried to defend uh, the undefendable. I don't I didn't think that the subbing pattern had much effect, but and to personally, I don't think it really did. But the the faces of the players that got subbed out really showed that they had more to give. And I wonder what was going through Pablo's head. Well, I mean, he alluded to it during the press conference. I think didn't he? You guys were there, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Mhm.
That they pulled some of them off thinking about Saturday. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's where people, a lot of fans, are having a huge difficult time processing because now the talks again about Mastroeni out, Pablo out.
I disagree. I so this is gonna be probably my hottest take of the night, and people are free to disagree with me. I think that's a bad idea. If you want Mastroianni out, you don't understand what's going on. Because I don't think it's a coaching issue.
Hmm.
It's not a coaching issue. Because if it was a coaching issue, we would. I mean, I think it's a player issue. I think it's mostly a player issue with a little bit of front office. There is a little bit of front office, right? Like what we've discussed, where yeah, we've known about the need for this striker for months. Where is it? Why is it so hard? But like Alan said, give him credit because it can be hard to sell Salt Lake City to people. So there's obviously some grace there. But something that stuck out to me was during the press conference last night with Pablo. That is the most upset I've ever seen him, and he keeps his composure really, really well, really well. And he came out and talked about people just not wanting to play, not wanting to win. And I think we ran into that same issue where the players were on the field, but Anelli wanted to win. Diego Luna kind of wanted to win. Ajago kind of did. Lachlan wanted to win. Henry did a Henry fought for the club. Cabral fought for the club. Stupid challenge at the end, but like I would say like a third of the players wanted to win, and you can't win games if only a third of the players want to win. If the
Hmm.
rest are just here to play, then go to that new USL league that's going to collapse within a couple of years.
Right. Um, and I hear what you're saying, but then you're gonna have people that say, but if Pablo is such a good coach, if he's such a good motivational speaker, how come he can't figure these players out, the ones that aren't giving enough effort? How come he can't figure them out? How come he can't find the combination that works? How come he can't find the words to make them click?
I don't, there's only so much coaching you can do before it comes down to player attitude.
Hmm.
You can't coach attitude. You can't. That's the reason. Like you take a look at Diego Luna's killer fighting mentality. He as soon as he stepped on the field last night, he I think he was emotional, which led to kind of less than stellar play from him, but he threw it all out there. He had that mentality to win, to get into open spaces, to create key passes, to shoot when he thought he had open shots. That's a mentality you cannot coach. All the talent in the world doesn't matter if you don't have the mentality.
Right. Right.
It
It's frustrating though, because it's like what we hear a lot of people that are involved with the front office say the this phrase: the talent is there.
Mhm.
And the talent is there. That's what's frustrating because I think that's why people are trying to point fingers at someone, and I think Pablo is that someone because you have all this talent out on the field. It, you can't tell me that for 70 minutes we played good enough to win that game for 70 minutes.
Well, the biggest problem that I hear from people when it comes to Pablo is the substitutions over and over last season when he was making late substitution, whether it was 80th, 85th minute. And I feel that. I see where they're coming from because that's frustrating. As fans, you want to see early substitutions to help your side to be able to make those smart moves. But going to Christian's point, we didn't see that passion, that desire from some of these players in last night's win or go home game against Herediano because, like I said, that these opportunities to play in this big tournament rarely do happen. So overall, this is a front office thing. I'm not one. I used to be Pablo out, but no, this is definitely a front office thing. If we want to get the ball rolling to get those pieces fixed.
So I'm not Pablo out. but I am Pablo. Don't renew. This is, I think, at the end of this is his last season. And unfortunately, it's a rebuilding season. So that means for me in my head, that means that RSL is going to be rebuilding one, two, and possibly the second year of the next coach, whoever it is. That's that's the unfortunate part. Right now, I think we hit our max the past 2 years with the quality players, we'll call them. But I think now it's we're going into a regress, and unless we get one a DP9 before April 23rd, and we get some players over the summer or before the summer window ends, I don't think I don't think fans are going to be happy. And I think our predictions that we had at the very beginning of the season
They're
might be going
slipping.
they're
Oh
they're
yeah,
they're slipping.
They're
my
not
biggest
gone.
no,
Marcos, don't you dare say they're gone.
no,
I
no, no,
cannot
no,
handle
no. They're
pessimistic BS this
they're
early.
they're still there. They're still there. My biggest concern with if with RSL sliding the way that they are is we're going to see players like some of these players not giving that desire, not giving that passion on the field, where we're going to have Anelli and Luna be the only ones that really do care and that are literally that driving force in the starting 11.
Yeah. I'm still kind of stuck on Pablo. And the only reason I'm stuck on Pablo is because we can only blame players for what they do on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Pablo does the stuff off the field. And I'm not sure how prepared these players were. But to Christian's point, see, I have the two angels on my shoulders. I have one saying one thing, one saying the other. I'm like,
I'm
I
an
s-
angel. Boom.
I can see all sides of this argument. And to be honest, I think RSL right now as an organization is struggling just overall. Um, you can blame new ownership. I'm not going to. That's a weak excuse, really weak. Um, I'm I'm not sure if I can blame substitution patterns, though I probably would have made different subs at different times. But the players that were on the field could have done the performance that was needed. I think because all of us are so frustrated, we want to point the finger at something. This was our first chance in since 8 years to be in this tournament, and we flub it by not
Yeah,
performing well in the first leg, by not getting the goal in the first leg, and
Mm.
then at home not defending the fortress. I
yeah.
mean,
I think I feel bad for the fans first and foremost. Waiting 8 years, the people that showed up on a midweek game, 6:30, the 9,000 of them. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for them expecting a good result, seeing their team at home for the first time this season, and they crapped it.
I mean, I'm thinking back to our prediction time every for the past two games. Thinking back to our prediction time, I'm not gonna lie, I feel slightly embarrassed only because we expected this from the team. Expected them to be up high. I mean, I'm not saying up high. We're one of the best, but we
Well, I told
expected a
Christian at
result.
halftime of I told Christian at halftime of this game, I was like, "Oh, I'm winning prediction time," because I said 1-0. But as we see, that definitely did not occur.
All right, so maybe let's get into the actual game just a little bit. Get into some of the stats and alluding to what Christian said that Pablo was really pissed during the press conference. 30 shots, of which I think six were on goal.
Total
Yep.
on 6 on target. Yep.
Um, does this so this for me this wasn't useless possession,
Not
but
not for the first 70 minutes of the game.
yeah, it was after they tied is when I'm not sure what happened, but the light switch turned off, and I think well I'll be completely honest, it's because of the subs. And
Yep.
that's where I can see what people are saying about the subs. The substitutes that came in, I don't think performed to the max that they could have.
Mm-mm.
So some people were saying that Wolf had a great game coming in the 70th minute. He just came on. I didn't see anything spectacular.
He
Oh,
didn't do poorly though.
that's what I'm saying. He didn't like. impress, but he didn't do absolutely terrible. Ojeda, same thing. Ojeda is not a good sub.
No, no.
He's
He's a
he's
starter.
he's a starter. And to that point, the switcheroo, Palacio is a great sub, horrible starter.
Yeah,
Yep.
to have all of these bench guys as normal starters did not work whatsoever.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm not sure why Diego didn't start this game.
I
Um,
think it's maybe for the fact that he played a full 90 in San Jose,
I don't know. I
but
don't buy that.
I I don't buy it either. He had a broken nose. That's it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what again, trying to get into Pablo's mind. So that's Christian. That's why I'm saying there's reasons to blame Pablo. I just I just don't know how valid they really are. Um, but but going back to the 30 shots, um, you guys can probably see, but I get without looking, please look without looking. Who was our top shot taker?
Ooh, I don't have that pulled up.
I'm gonna say either Dominic or Giogo.
Christian,
I'm gonna go Giogo.
top shot taker.
I oof. You know what? I'm gonna go with Kobe Henry.
Our top two shot takers were Brian Vera and Kobe Henry.
Oh,
I,
you know what kind of gave it away for me?
hmm,
The stat number of corners. We had 10.
that's crazy.
Herediano had 2.
Guys, I hate looking at these numbers because these numbers do not indicate the
That
scoreline.
we lost. No, these numbers indicate, oh, we won 4-0.
Yeah,
Uh, with 30 shots, you should be winning at least 4 or 5.
we nearly have almost have almost 200 more passes than they do.
But that's what Pablo was talking about last night at the presser. He was like, I have no words. It is completely baffling to me that we took 30 shots, 18 of them within the box, 6 on target, and only 1 goal. And he also mentioned that the team would not get a day off today.
Nope, nope. So they
And
practice
they
Thursday and Friday.
they practiced today because I actually my 9 to 5 office is close to their old practice field that's just south of the stadium. They were there in 40-degree weather today.
They were there.
They were
Interesting.
there. I'm guessing, I mean, honestly, a little bit of a punishment getting away from the nice facility out in Harriman. It was probably too for all the distractions that they don't have out in Harriman. Get the cars passing, have people walking by and see them in their shame.
Yeah. And and I guess maybe let's put that into perspective. Is this on a scale of worst losses in club history, or maybe most painful? Is this one of the most painful? Does this
No,
does this rank up
no,
with the 2013 MLS Cup?
no. Well, it's 13 is obviously the worst. Monterey is up there.
Monterey is up there. I think DC Open Cup.
DC is up there. I would say this
Yeah,
is maybe like top 5 out of 10.
yeah, I agree. This is a top 5 because this is a game on paper that, like, if you had pulled somebody from Belgium who doesn't watch MLS and say, here are these two teams, here's the leagues that they play in, here's where they're ranked in the CONCACAF ranking of clubs, who's gonna win? And they would look like, oh, Real Salt Lake, easy.
You would think.
Hell, I bet we could pull up EAFC 25 right now, simulate the game, and Real Salt Lake would win.
Challenge accepted after this. I'm doing it.
That's it. I was gonna say, is your son gonna play that?
No, he's asleep. But to the other side of that point, Herediano is not a bad team. And this is
No,
one.
no, sorry, and I
No,
didn't mean for it to come across
No,
that way. They are a
no.
good team.
And of course we know their leading goal scorer, Martinez, he stayed home in Costa Rica. Obviously, he's not allowed to leave the country. But that just shows you how much depth and how much firepower that they have. They have Hernandez, they have Aguilar, Cruz, like so many solid players in that attack, which was scary. So they're gonna put up a good fight against the Galaxy in the next round.
Um, and I wanted to check. Does anyone remember, or anyone can find real quick, the goal scorer that scored the lone goal when we played against them in 2012? If I'm not mistaken, which I hope I'm not, this would be a cool stat. Um,
His name is TBD.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. FotMob doesn't have him, but if someone can find it, I think it might be Aguilar, the same guy that scored the game tying goal.
Oh, his dad?
No, him.
He wasn't on the.
He wasn't on
Oh
there.
wait, mm,
That's
no,
that's
he subbed off in the 80th minute. Oh wait, that's the. Hold on, that's the wrong game. It's the right tournament. Wrong. There we go. Let's see.
because if
Oh,
someone,
well, correct. Elias Aguilar,
guys,
14th minute.
guys, we might have been. We just
No way.
got knocked out
By the
twice
by
by
the
him.
same guy.
The
How
same
how,
guy
Same
knocked us
guy.
out twice.
how old is Elias Aguilar?
33 now.
33.
So
So
yeah, yeah,
he was
that's a
21.
Can we sign him?
holy, holy cow, that's
That'd be
crazy.
that would be irony at its finest.
Guys, well, I mean, I don't want to sign him. But
No.
the irony is we got eliminated by Herediano by the same person twice.
Yep, yeah, I had to go back and look at his club profile. Yep, same exact guy.
Guys, that's your stat of the night. I
Wow.
hope you guys enjoyed that one. Um, Flip. I I I don't know how much more we can take from this.
Well, so many times we've heard the with each loss, we've heard them. The season's still early, but yes, there's still 33 games, but this is difficult. This is difficult to keep your head up and move on from here because now we got the Seattle Sounders for a tough home opener.
I don't even want to think about the Sounders because that game is. I mean, Seattle is coming off an off season, doing some magic with their transfers, stuff that we don't know what that's like. Um, but they brought in Paul Arriola, who has scored. They brought over Jesus,
They
which
have Jesus,
I
and of
mean,
course,
we
and
got Jesus too.
we got Jesus too. They do have the likes of De La Vega, who scored a brace last night against Antigua.
I mean, but it's against Antigua, my friend. Look, real quick, if some of these MLS teams had to play against Herediano, I think they would struggle as well.
I
Yeah,
agree.
no, Herediano is a good team. We still should have won.
Also,
I don't,
yes,
how did we get the short end of the stick to get the toughest
because we're
non?
RSL, we get the short end a lot. But um, they also, I mean, the normals. They have Jordan Morris. They have Albert Rusnak. They
Both
have
rolled ons.
they have both rolled ons. Um, I guess the question is, what kind of a Seattle team do you think we're going to see, especially after their win against Antigua?
So if you look at the players that did play in leg two, you see that Jordan Morris came off at halftime. Ariola came off about 10 minutes later. He had a goal. De La Vega obviously had a brace, but the player that did not play at all that catches everybody's attention, Rusnak. So that only leaves you to expect that he might start on Saturday.
And there's no injury?
No.
Interesting.
Nope.
I mean, who,
So they're definitely saving him for a big start on Saturday.
but whose spot would he take from the lineup from Seattle's last lineup?
De La Vega.
That's an interesting one, only because for me, I would be putting De La Vega out there, younger. Um,
I'd be swapping him out for Ariola.
also, um, This is making me do the temple rub because they just have so many people that can just replace each other that you're just like I'm almost ready to throw in the white flag on this game.
And of course, they have Musovsky as well. So it's like,
Oh,
Ooh, because
please.
I'm so scared of Musovsky.
no, but I'm just like, they have, I'm like looking at all these players that they have on their bench. So
And
Musovsky couldn't score on the Monarchs. I mean, come on.
he couldn't even score against Antigua. I mean, come on. Paul Ariola had to do
He
that.
couldn't. I was gonna say he couldn't score against the Royals, but honestly, the Royals are the best soccer team in Utah right now, so you can't talk trash on them at all.
Shut up. There's some people that are saying that they should sign what's her bucket as our nine. Um
Which one?
Ali.
Ali
yeah,
Sentnor?
Allie. Yeah.
Dude, honestly, I'd be down for that.
I mean, she could probably score with a lot more precision than probably a Jago.
Oh, her banger 25
She,
yards out.
yeah, she.
She
Hey, one thing before we continue on this sound of thing, one positive I do want to take away that we saw in last night's game that we didn't see last season. It is the 30 shots during the game.
All right. I'll give you that
That
because
yeah, all the other criticisms that come after that are completely valid. But the fact that we had double digit shots last night compared to how we ended last season, it's that alone is a step in the right direction. Now,
I'll take more. I'll take I'll
everything
take I'll take more of that every game.
mm, I like the aggressiveness. I like okay, just okay. Let me just throw in some positives because we were
yeah,
negative
let's
for
go.
a
Let's go back.
hot
Let's go
second.
back.
Uh, one thing that we did very, very, very well on the attacking end is we split the defense. We spread them out. Got a lot of good crosses in on the back line and on the defensive mid side. Tons of interceptions. That is a quiet stat that doesn't get counted. I noticed a lot of good positioning and interceptions. So criticisms aside, there were some very, very good things from the team last night.
let's
Which,
let's go
if
for
we
a
can,
couple more.
if we can translate that to the Seattle game, we're going to give Seattle a bigger fight than I think that they're going to expect.
Going on this positive run. Well, you're right. Let's throw out some positives here. I really liked how Dominic was utilizing his wide position
Hmm.
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
create that space in order to cross. There were a lot of crosses. I already changed the page, but I don't know how many crosses we had, but there were a lot of crosses. And on the other side, Sam was also
Yeah.
like dishing it out on the crosses too, which allowed Giogo to come more into the middle. That's that's a good positive. I love the positioning in that sense. To exactly what you were saying, Christian. There's
Well,
a lot of
if a Yago is going to be our lone star striker up top, him and Dominic, whoever's crossing him, he needs to have better communication and be able to be aware when those are coming because he had so many times where ball coming across him where he literally just stick out a toe, stick out a head, could have been a brace for him.
well, I mean, maybe it was timing, but his runs were correct.
Absolutely,
I think
they were.
that's what Christian's point is that there was correct play. It's the timing of all of it.
Mhm.
It's the meshing,
Yeah.
it's the gelling that takes
Hmm.
a couple of months. But there were a lot of positive. In fact, again, we're gonna beating a dead horse here. First 70 minutes were great. After that is when everything shut down. So if we can focus and take away the first 70, whatever positives we have, and move them over to the Seattle game, that'd be excellent. Crap. We just got bit by the Pablo bug. That's exactly how Pablo. Gosh,
Do
come
better.
on.
Do better. Come on.
Ah, like I understand thinking positive, but I mean, to what was it Anelli that you guys interviewed? He
Oh,
said to take the positives.
I mean, we got a chance to speak to Lachlan Brook last night. Kobe Henry. Kobe gave us a very canned kind of. He was just saying it because we asked and kind of went on his way, and then we talked to Anelli for a bit.
I think out of all the responses, Anelli's was the most captain-like,
Hmm.
obviously for obvious purposes. But you could tell that they need to learn from these mistakes and just move forward to get prepared for a tough battle moving forward against Seattle.
And I think that's what a lot of fans have a hard time with is moving forward from these things. Um, we just have to. It's a game. We are super passionate about this game, and we have to trust that the players will learn. Now, there's obviously small details within the club that people can't let go. But, anyways, we're moving on. Seattle game. How optimistic do you guys feel? If you were to take the first stop. Stay with me on the positive, okay? Stay with me. If you were to take the first 70 minutes of the Herediano game and put it into Seattle game, how what kind of outlook do you see from RSL?
We would stay in it, that's for sure. But would we be winning? Probably not. Just because, like we know, Seattle has a more dominant, scary attack.
Okay. I mean, sure. I can see it. We definitely have only one striker, so you're not wrong there. I don't know, Christian, if you were to take first 70 of the last game.
We'd put up a really good fight. Because here's the thing, taking a look at how the Sounders were structured for their last game, it's clear from what just taking a look at where the scoring and the assists were coming from, they were attacking from the wings. I dare say our strongest area of play right now is our wings. And especially, De La Vega is if he plays, he is going to sorry, I'm getting lineups again. On that side, he's going to run into Sam Junqua or Catranes, and either of those two are going to be able to keep up with him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Catranes is going to chirp him and break him down and cause him to snap and commit stupid fouls. And so he's going to get frustrated that way. Paul Arriola is going to run into whoever's our right back. Bodie would give him a hard time. Quentin would give him a hard time too. And then you take a look at their back line, and unfortunately the back left is their strong point where we see a lot of movement from Dominic. And so we'd have to rely on hopefully Diego Luna pushing up that left side where he's going to burn Christian Roldan.
Hmm. So going to the Rusnak talk. I mean, Rusnak didn't play last game, but the spot that he plays was occupied by Jesus Ferreira. Do you replace Jesus Ferreira with Rusnak? I
For
only mention this because the right wing for them when they played against Charlotte was Menungu, and that's that's not De La Vega. It's not Rusnak. It's not Ferreira. Do you think that they lower their quality when they play MLS now?
maybe. And honestly, they one thing that could work, just thinking about this now, taking a look at these lineups and things like that, a possibility is that we see heavy rotation for Seattle and we see a lot of resting going on because they're going to assume, just based off of RSL's bad recent form since the playoffs last season, that they can walk in here and produce an easy 3 points no matter who they put on the field. So we
Yeah.
could see a weaker lineup because they're focused on the next round of the Champions Cup.
And that's what was gonna be. That was gonna be my next question: is do we know when Seattle plays their next round?
I believe it. I want to say it's on Wednesday.
Because if I mean
They play Cruz Azul.
they play Cruz Azul,
Yeah.
They're going to be
Seattle,
resting people.
Seattle
guys,
plays Cruz Azul.
that changes this conversation.
That changes everything.
Well,
And if
let's
you know,
hope.
well, Seattle Cruz Azul plays the winner of America Chivas.
Oh man, Seattle is in for a gauntlet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're going to have to rest people, which works in our favor. And here's another thing that's going to work in our favor as well. You know how we're not good at keeping clean sheets? Seattle's the same way.
Yeah.
They give up goals. They just tend to outscore their opponents, but they give up goals. which means if we can score early and get, let's say, I don't just, I'm reaching a little bit here with this. If we go up 2-0 early, that's gonna force them to rotate in players that they don't want to rotate in,
Or maybe they just if we
or
go
to
up,
take the L.
yeah, and
Yeah,
they just take it.
I could see Seattle having this no care attitude about this one and putting more focus on Wednesday's game against Cruz Azul because that one is a do or die. That's a very important one.
Guys, I just got really excited, and I hope it's not like false excitement, but I just that may be our saving grace is the fact that Seattle moved on. And that
But Seattle's still they're still very deep. They're still very deep. So
I mean, but are they? Because Charlotte isn't a great team, even though you can start naming off some key players that they signed. I still don't see Charlotte as a huge threat, and yet they
Mhm.
tied 2-2. And so
yeah,
and that was at home, mind you. So I'm I'm not sure if we're really going to see a strong Seattle team if they're going to focus on Cruz Azul.
The Sounders haven't won in MLS since November 23rd of last year. They
oh
haven't
wow.
won in MLS.
Wasn't that like Western Conference Finals?
It was the semis against LAFC.
Yeah.
And that was their last away win as well.
So I mean, they went farther in the.
That's not they lost in the next round. That's not saying much.
Right, but but yeah, I wonder. I mean, I as of right now, at this moment when we're recording, we don't know the exact date of when Seattle plays.
Nope.
It could be the following week that they play CONCACAF because is aren't the next rounds are they single elimination or are they still home and away
Best of two.
best of
Best
two?
of two, yeah.
Then they have to play this next week because the next round
Mhm.
is between March 4th and March 13th.
hmm
Oh, that's so fast.
Right. That's what would have happened to us.
March
Hmm.
Mar- March 5th, according to the website, is when Seattle plays Cruz Azul.
That's Wednesday.
And then leg two would be March 11th.
Guys, that's I don't know about you guys. I'm feeling kind of giddy inside. Just because of
Oh,
the I mean,
you're
tell me.
feeling this sensation called hope right now.
Stop it. Come on. Let me feel let me feel hope.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing to feel. That's the blonde one that says it's a bad thing to feel.
No, I'm still sticking with my prediction for this one. So
Are, are, are we getting to prediction time already?
I don't I'm not seeing. I'm not being optimistic in this one. I don't see it.
All right, fine. We're doing it. Prediction time. All right, Marcos, just lay it on us. Give it to us.
As much as I want to see RSL get that dub in their home opener against a Seattle side that's going to be resting a lot of players for Cruz Azul, I see 2-0 for Seattle.
Oh, that's rough. Christian, what do you got?
Um, I know I just talked about hope and everything. I do think, unfortunately, we will lose. However, I think it's going to be a 2-1 loss. We're not coming away with this empty-handed. We're going to come away with it with a goal.
All right. Um, someone's got to be the positive one here. And so 30 shots, not goals. 30 shots means something. It has to mean something. So I'm going to go
Fair.
with a 2-1 win for RSL. Something's going to click and I think X Dog is going to win in this one along with Seattle maybe sitting some players. So I gotta go with it because that's what my soul is saying for this game. Um, let's wrap this all up with some questions, Marcos. We know we got some Instagram questions and we might have answered all of them,
We,
but
we we definitely talked about most of them for the Pablo stuff, so we'll skip over those. But first question we got right off the bat is, which young player on the Monarchs do you think has the best chance of moving up to RSL?
Jesus,
Huh?
Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus. The,
Jesus.
the, the answer is Jesus always.
Anytime you
That's
say Jesus, I think of that old of that guy on Vine.
Nope.
He,
Not,
I'll send it to you later.
okay.
Um,
okay. I was like,
Jesus.
All right.
next question. Is this 2022 all over again? Referring to a nine problem.
I mean, is this 22 again? Is this
Hmm.
17 again? Is this 14, 15, 16, 17? I mean,
It's
how
its
long?
own unique situation.
Yeah, this one is unique, I think, because so many so many left in the offseason that helped
Correct.
us. I mean, what was it? Between two players, there was 42 goals, 43 goals, and between
Yeah.
like the four of them, four or five of them, there was a total of maybe 50 plus. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So you can't really pinpoint an actual year. It's been going on ever since Jeff Cassar. So
it's been going on for a minute, but yeah, to
Man,
Christian
yeah.
if he could have kept his cool,
Petke, you think Petke would have had some success here?
maybe.
Not gonna lie, I couldn't stand the guy.
I liked his dog mentality. I think I liked his mentality more than his coaching style.
Agreed. Agreed with Christian there. Yeah.
Hmm. Next one.
Next question. Does being an RSL fan ever stop hurting? No, no. Like it comes with a price. Like you got to know this at this point. So
Here's the thing. Real fans are real fans. We're
we are.
not we're the exception to the standard Utah bandwagon.
Yeah, because there aren't very many teams you can bandwagon with in soccer. In terms of MLS,
Yeah.
you have your Utah Laker fans. You have
Ugh.
yeah, those. Sorry guys, if you're that, you're the worst. I said it. You're the worst. But yeah, there's you can't really be an Inter Miami fan in Utah because really, I mean, if you're an Inter Miami fan, it's because you're a Messi fan, not an Inter Miami fan.
Yep.
Agreed. Agreed. Next question. What is your post embarrassing loss ritual? How do you get the fire back?
That's a really
It's
weird
like
question.
I think that goes hand in hand with the last question. We just learned to, like every healthy person, channel it, ball it up, and push it down and move on. Like we deal with it. We just let it fester into a mental illness. It's fine.
This is how villains get created. But I don't really have any traditions except for
Mm-mm.
I might throw on a FIFA and maybe like play the game again or just play my favorite team and just dominate.
I
Um,
was when I was driving home last night after the game. I did have my windows rolled down, just blasting some music just to get myself not crying
n-
tears. So
now,
So somebody was listening to Everybody Hurts. Everybody hurts sometime.
so I guess go maybe back when I was younger with hair, I did used to.
That was a while
Uh,
ago.
that was a long time ago. I did used to go after the games to Wendy's to grab myself a Frosty. So
Ooh, time to bring that back.
time to bring that back.
I was
But
like, yeah,
I would always get a crispy chicken sandwich, a small fry, and a Frosty. Never gets old.
There's that Wendy's right off of 90, sorry, off of 106, just barely north next to the hotels. Catch us there after a game, get a sticker.
That's gonna be our new meetup spot. Next question.
I'm just searching through to see which ones we have not gone over yet. Kind of have gone over this one, but we'll do it anyways. Question is, why would we rotate players to be ready for Saturday and throw away CONCACAF?
Hey, great question. I think maybe CONCACAF is useless. Why be a part of it? I mean, right?
Yeah, it,
MLS is better than CONCACAF.
I mean,
n-
eh, let's be real. In a sense, kind of.
now
Look,
now with RSL not taking this as serious with taking players, subbing them off, makes me wonder how serious we're gonna then take Leagues Cup this year.
Depends on if we get that 9. That's been everyone's answer today. Or last night was like, if we get that 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, any other questions?
That looks like it's about it. The rest are just all Pablo questions. So
Shoot, that tells you where people's thoughts lie.
I'm still a Pablo fan. If you want to come after me, you can find me on X.
At Christian A. Craig. There you go. um,
That's me.
guys, that was a we vented.
we did 33 games left in the season, everybody. It's going to be a long season, but
Uh,
stick with RSL through the good, the bad, the ugly. This is going to be a long ride, guys. So hang on.
This
um,
season is nothing. I don't think anybody could truly predict how the season's going to go. I think we're still going to see some highs. We might see some really big highs.
and we might
I
see some really big lows.
We could, or maybe these are the lows. We don't know. Knock on wood. I and from what I've heard from the town hall that happened tonight, it sounds like the fans were very honest with the leadership group and the front office, from what I've heard.
Mhm.
From what I've seen online through like the Facebook groups and whatever. So to the fans, thank you for being open and honest with the leadership group. I think that goes a long way. But it also says a lot that they were there to listen. I don't know if really other clubs that will do that where they're like, hey, come to a town hall so we can chat and listen to your grievances. So shout out to the ownership group, to the RSL ownership group to actually even take the time to sit down and meet with the fans. I think that says a lot, and hopefully both can rise to the expectation where we all know that this is a club that can make ripples around the world given the right resources, the right players. We've
Right.
got the fans for it.
And I guess to maybe some fans' points, they probably want to see action. Whatever was said tonight by leadership, let's hope that action is taken and that we see results here, hopefully soon. Who knows? We do
We
have it.
have
We have until April 23rd.
we have less than 2 months to see magic happen. We'll see. We'll see. Stay tuned. But to Christian's point, I am glad to see that they did a town hall to listen to the fans, because the fans are the reason for this on the pitch.
Yep. If there
There are
were,
reasons for it.
there are reasons. That was okay. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Um, there's still a lot more to come, so stay tuned.
Home opener Saturday, 2:30, America First Field. Guys, show up early. Be loud. Pack this stadium because they need you after a
Find
tough loss.
Marcos.
Find me. Christian unfortunately will not be there. I will be there. So find me, stickers, and let's party in the tailgate.
I'll be somewhere else on the field. I'll be there.
And hey, let me throw this little challenge out. Whoever can find Marcos and get the best selfie with him, I will bring you a pack of Skittles to the San Diego game.
What? What if I find him and I take the best selfie?
You don't count.
Come on.
Nope.
You're too bald.
No, I want the Skittles. That's what I want.
Okay.
Cool.
May the best selfie win.
Great. Sounds great.
Tag the R's at the RSL Bros, whether it's on Instagram or X, a hashtag RSL Bros, so I can find the pictures and pick the best one.
I'm down. I'm down.
I like it.
Margot, send us off.
If you guys are not already, make sure you guys head over to X and Instagram and follow us at the RSL Bros. Listen to us wherever you catch your podcast on Spotify and Apple, and watch us on YouTube.
Sounds great to me. But until next time, I'm almost done talking, so peace out, everyone. That was
Take care,
enough.
guys. Until next time.
See ya.
Bye.